I'm going to let this play first.
Okay, I don't know if it will show the night sky. I'm pointing it right at Orion for reference, right at the belt of Orion. And I've arrived to the hike site and I'm getting ready in the dark. And so now I'm going to turn, I'm going to face the north. So I look to the north, like there's the Big Dipper and there's the two stars that point towards the North Star right there. So I was looking right there and I go, wow, I wonder what those are. Now that I swear to God, this is a true story. I go, I wonder what those are. That was two bright lights, similar to like two Venuses. They were very close to each other. And I thought, when I get back, I'll go to the Facebook group for astronomy and say, what were those two planets? Or well, it can't be a planet. It's not in the ecliptic. But I'll ask, what were they? Because I've never seen that before. And so then I get down into the band and figure I'll get my camera and see if it will film it. And so I bend back up and look, and I'm telling you, they're gone. They're gone. No shit. No shit. So that's my report. Now I don't know if the camera right now is showing the stars, but the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm 72, stone sober, getting ready for a hike, and I'm right at Area 51. Maybe they were testing something. I don't know. Okay, that ends this report because I don't think it's showing anything because I'm starting out on my hike in the dark.
Okay, so uh, now I'm going to keep narrating even though the video has ended. But anyway, Jeff Claw, possibly a couple other people will like this because, first of all, I'm scientific minded. I don't believe in aliens. We haven't been visited, never have been, never will be. It's impossible. And my whole life, I've told people, how come everybody else sees things, but I never have, sleeping under the stars since childhood? Now, camping, uh, I've never seen anything. But anyway, this flat out, I tell you, on this day, it did occur right next to Area 51, in view of Area 51. That here is my rendition now, sitting at the desk. That I was looking at the stars, getting ready, and so I looked to the north, and there's the Big Dipper, and I turned around and looked to the south and was getting ready, and turned around again, looked up to the north, and there's these two lights. The two lights, they were close to each other, like maybe two degrees apart, like you know, very close to each other, not almost touching, but they were bright. They didn't sparkle. And I said in the video, it was kind of like two Venuses. They were brighter than Venus, but they were larger. Okay. So, in other words, they looked like lights, as if something was, oh, let's say 200 or 300 feet away, but a circle with a light shining through smoke glass. In other words, it wasn't like you were looking at the filament of a light, and it wasn't twinkling like a star, uh, and it wasn't as pinpoint of a light as like Venus would be, is a pinpoint. Okay, but picture bigger than that, and very very bright. And my immediate thought was, well, first of all, of course, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. So my immediate thought was, well, what is that? It's not in the ecliptic. Uh, and I thought, certainly they're not looking at me because they watch everything that's near Area 51. And my first thought, of course, wasn't aliens, but they're not looking at me with drones or something to see what I'm doing. And then I thought, well, that couldn't be the case because why would there be bright lights? You would think that it wouldn't be lit up. It would be secret, like a drone watching me. And then why two? Why two? And they didn't move. They didn't move in the slightest. It wasn't an airplane, and also being scientifically minded and viewing planes coming in all the time over Vegas, I'm familiar with the concept that a plane could be landing headed straight towards you and sloping down on its 3 degrees slope down, whatever it is, when they get ready to land. And they can be coming right at you, and you can see what appears to be like a star that gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and then slowly drifts off to the side and comes in for a landing. So I'm familiar with all that. I'm scientifically minded and reasonably intelligent. I still don't believe in aliens, and I don't believe this had anything to do with aliens. I do believe it had something to do with Area 51 because I was right on the borderline of it, getting ready for my hike. I was clear headed. I was uh, sharp witted in my mental prime, getting ready for a death defying hike out in the desert where anything could happen. I was well prepared. I was not hungover. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Uh, and it did happen. I swear to God, for the first time in my life, it did happen. Now, I wanted to kick myself afterwards because uh, now what I did was all I did, by the way, I make it sound like I looked for the camera, got the camera ready. I did not. I just simply bent down to pick up the camera off of the seat of the car. My Osmo DJI handheld Pocket 3, I think it's called. All I did was bend over in the open uh, passenger seat door and picked up the camera and then uh, unsnapped the case. This all took a total of maybe 15 seconds. Not even that. I'm going to have to pause because of the dogs. Okay, so I picked up the camera and stood up, and looked to the north. And I am telling you, they were gone. And I go, what? And my first thought was, well, something must have, like if I saw a UFO, well, then it must have sped off and it will be somewhere else. So the first thing I did, now all this was taking place in 2 seconds. The first thing I did was I looked up, looked around, and spun around. And I thought, wherever they are, they have to still be traveling. They couldn't have just disappeared. So they have to still be traveling, like you would see a plane traveling or a satellite traveling or whatever. And I looked up and it was the same thing. There was a bright star up above and Orion to the south. The Big Dipper was to the north. And I am telling you, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. They were gone. And I think to myself, holy shit. Now, I should have kept looking. I should have reached down for the camera and kept looking in case something sped off. Now, why didn't I? I will tell you why. I don't believe in that kind of stuff to begin with. I never even considered that I would look up and they would be gone. No, there was no clouds. Uh, I never even considered it. And then I wanted to kick myself afterwards because I was going, dear God, I have just, for the first time in my life, I have experienced an unidentified thing in the sky that makes no sense that I cannot figure out. And yet here I didn't keep looking. What if it turns out you were seeing a flying saucer and then you turn away to pick up the camera and then now you stand up and it's gone? How do you know you weren't seeing a flying saucer? And the reason is because in a span of a few seconds, I just didn't consider it. Remember, this has never happened in my life, ever. Nothing like it. Okay? I know astronomy. I'm scientific minded. I've seen all the videos and stories and stuff. I don't believe in UFOs, and UFO, unidentified flying object. I mean, I don't believe in aliens having visitors. I never have, never will. And so, therefore, why did I look away even for a few seconds when I could be making history? The reason is because I didn't even remotely consider that I could be seeing something bizarre. The only thing I did think when I looked up and saw those things, well, they weren't in the ecliptic. They were to the north, very near the North Star. They weren't an ecliptic. The only thing I thought was those guys are watching me with some kind of drone or something, but why are there two? And why are they bright? That's the only thing I thought. I never considered you're making history. How do you know you're not seeing a damn UFO the first time in your life and then you look away to get the goddamn camera? It's because I blew it. I should have kept looking. But within the span of 2 or 3 seconds, I just didn't think of it and reached down and picked up the camera, unsnapped the thing. I looked up. They were gone. I'm telling you flat out, they were gone. I mean, gone, gone. They were not near the horizon. And I spun around because I thought, what if something sped off really quick? Well, I needed to spin around and look all over to the horizons as quick as I can in case something is speeding off. Are they moving in unison? Are they moving one at a time? And I am telling you, they were gone. I was not hallucinating. I, for my story, I even considered, okay, why would I, out of the middle of nowhere, hallucinate that I had seen this thing, not expecting to see anything and not believing in aliens? That yet I have a hallucination and then it lasts for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then suddenly the hallucination goes away with no hallucinations returning as I got ready or started the hike. I mean, I've considered everything. I am telling you, I saw the two lights. They did not twinkle, and there was a steady, bright lights, not like a flashlight shining at you. It was like two very bright Venuses, but not as pinpoint as Venuses. In other words, it was a roundish two bright lights, like nothing I had ever seen. That I can say. It was like nothing I had ever seen in the sky, whether planet, whether star, whatever you name it. I have never seen anything like it. It happened. I am telling you, I looked back, I picked up the camera, and they were gone. Anyway, it actually shook me up a little bit. I thought, what was that? Do you mean to tell me that now at age 72, I finally had an experience and near Area 51 where I look up, I see two things, I bend over, pick up a camera, look up, and they're gone? That what happened? It shook my world. I've always told everybody I don't believe in that crap, never have, never will. It always happens with somebody else, never happens with me. But I am telling you, I saw the two things. I looked up, they were gone. They had not sped off anywhere. They were gone. And I was not picking up that camera for more than 10 seconds. That ends my testimonial. It did happen.